Can we just stand for a moment of silence for Senator Jim Seward?
Recast.
We lost a good friend this past year.
Welcome everybody on TV lands. For their president, we'll go to roll call.
Albrecht.
Here.
Banflo. Day.
Here.
Gurecki. Here. Serrano.
Here.
Warnzak. Bono.
Here.
We
Okay,
go.
thank you. Good. Lana, you want to do our mission statement, please?
You don't have it on anything written down?
It's on my presentation.
Here.
I can pull it up. Oh, it's right here. There we go. Oh, wait. This is strange. Here she is.
Good. The mission of the Herkimer County Industrial Development Agency is
Sorry, go ahead, boss.
good. Okay, to deliver economic incentives to businesses and industries to diversify and strengthen Herkimer County's tax base and enhance community vitality by supporting job creation, housing, business, and industrial development and community revitalization. We strive to develop the local economy in an organized, sustainable, and environmentally beneficial manner.
Okay, thank you very much. All right, let's go to item number 4, the minutes. Want to take those independently or Alice packet? Okay, we'll do them independently. Let's go to the June 12th regular board meeting. Those are on pages 1 through 4 in your packet. Is there any discussion there? Any additions, corrections, deletions, et cetera? Hearing none, I need a motion to accept. Lori, Jen, Tim, discussion. All in favor, aye. Any opposed, nay? Carried. We had a public hearing on June 14th. The minutes are on pages 5 through 6 in regards to Aldridge Trucking. Any additions, corrections, deletions? Need a motion? John Serrano, second by Corey. Discussion. All in favor, aye. Any opposed, nay? Carried. Our second public hearing was on June 24th for the Masonic Building, pages 7 through 10. Discussion.
Anyone show up?
Additions, corrections. Need a motion?
The only thing I would mention is, sorry, I did read, John had some good comments, about the project. I do understand that the application has the chart for the 10-year estimation. I do think we have an area below that chart, that says we can have an attachment. It's in case
Is this for the
everyone-
Masonic?
I think for their public hearing. Let's see.
From the minutes from the meeting of the 24th.
7 through 10.
Yeah. It's 8. So, right, you mentioned that, if the.
Yeah.
Paragraph down. Just, so in other applications, we've had attachments that have shown the duration of the pilot. And I understand that, you mentioned here that the space available in the application is 10 years. If it is beyond that, if we could have that attachment, like we did for the meat processing facility, that would be helpful that way. Just for our reference, that's all. But you had some good comments to say about it, but I do understand here you said that the space available is like limited to 10-year. Does that make sense?
I don't know. So,
On the application for financial assistance, the table provided for the applicant to fill in does limit the space to 10 years.
But they would add an
And they would
addendum
have,
or
yeah,
attach.
to show what the full 30 is.
So it's verbally mentioned in the meeting, it was 30 years, and then we could take share of that, but the meat processing facility had a good attachment that allowed. To do that. I think it's good to have that. It doesn't. Like, sometimes we look.
I think what we'll do is just let them know it's an additional 30 years they can do an attachment. Often 1 to 10. The reason we did this, of course, it's ours and we're talking. There's questions. But in most cases, we don't. Now, watch the next project that comes in is $330 million and they will want to have 30 years. But, you know, I think in most cases, we're pretty good at saying that.
Can I jump in quickly?
Sure.
Sorry, I don't want to interrupt. So I can just put together a little supplement to the application, having the chart go out to 30 years. I will note though that in the approving resolution, which is part of your materials today, there's an attachment to that resolution which notes the full real property tax exemption benefit for the full 30 years. So
And to be honest with you too, I'm thinking this through a little bit more. I like to keep that at 10 because I don't really want anybody coming back and asking for more than 10.
I was gonna say another 30 was just for us. Right?
Right now, our
But it could
pilot,
be
the
for a
IDA
tenant?
pilots are, we can offer up to 30 for other projects. This is
Okay.
just this project. But
Yeah.
once again, these are just the minutes from the meeting that we should be
Yeah,
talking about right now. When
Got
we
it.
get into that Masonic, we can go through some more things with it.
That's fine. I just wanted to note the item that you mentioned. I mean, we can move it and whatnot. I wanted to, you know, that I read that.
More discussion? All in favor, aye? Any opposed, nay? Carried. All right, item 5, May financials, pages 11 through 18. Any questions there? Before we,
I'm sorry, you didn't have a vote in a second on those minutes.
Need a motion. Cory, motion second. Tim, discussion. All in favor, aye? Any opposed, nay? Carried. Sorry about that.
Thank you.
Okay, good catch. The financials, pages 11 through 18. Any questions?
So those were, there's 2 financial reports. There's May's.
May, Jack, one.
There's nothing that's outstanding as normal. We don't have anything that's really notable on there. I think you're gonna see a little bit more additional as we go through, not so much for May or June, but property maintenance because of the other parks now. But we can get into that a little bit later, talking about some other references, and then yesterday we just received in on one of our project, 275 or 74,000.
275.
275, so we continually move on these projects that we see. Keep us pretty much very good in the black.
Okay, so, any questions on the main financials? Can I have a motion, please? Ken, second, John. Round discussion. In favor, aye. Any opposed, nay, carried. New financials are on page 1925. Discussion.
So once again, too, you're gonna see just, you know, a few of the outlining expenses, some additional legal things that we've been involved with. That we can talk about in executive session, some other costs associated with some of the properties. Nothing that's really standoutish or sticking out that isn't under the norm. I don't think we need to come back for anything. Victoria, can you think of anything that's standing out right now?
No, as you mentioned, the legal is a little bit more than we were anticipating for the year.
I blame the attorneys, don't you? I think
do.
it's.
Any other questions for you? All right, I need a motion, please. Dan, Alana, discussion. Okay, right, all right, any opposed, nay? Okay. Item 7, the Mike Line Prize Grant update, Jen?
Yep, so right now I am working on some applications to be submitted. I'm working with 3 business owners currently, so we have some applications in the queue. have not had any disbursements of funds yet. We have only awarded one business, which was done in our last board meeting. But they haven't submitted all of their, receipts yet, 'cause they're purchasing inventory, which takes a little bit of time. For today, I do have an application here for approval for Mrs. Shakes. She is requesting 14,000 for the purchase of a new ice cream machine. She's located in Mohawk. If you haven't been there, she's got a nice new ice cream machine. So we're hoping to help her out.
Just a couple quick things too. So, we still are waiting to hear back from, the brewery in Little Falls, so we can close out, which is kind of the sewage butler fund for all this time. So, that'll happen soon, and Jen will let everybody know when that is. If you can be down there for that, that would be nice, and we'll let the legislators who cover that district, Little Falls, know about it as well. The micro enterprise grant that we have right now, there's a lot to do with that. There's a lot of paperwork. There's a lot of back and forth. We kind of thought the last one we were good. And then all of a sudden the state came back with something else they wanted. So, you know, it's unique because at least we ask ahead of time and then having you vote and submit and then it's rejected. I think that would be foolish. But the people who we work with down there are very thorough.
Yeah.
So we're excited about that, working with them, but we need to get more of that micro enterprise out there. We'll continue to advertise it. We work closely with the Small Business Development Center in Utica. And, you know, we're also gonna let the people within the DRI of Herkimer know that the ones who are small projects, that they could possibly apply for some of these. And just see how we can help, you know, leverage both funds, to help most of this.
So were you saying she already purchased the equipment?
She did, yep, she already purchased it. So for the micro enterprise grant, they don't need to wait to purchase it as long as it was purchased after we received that concurrence letter from the state. So
Okay.
she only purchased it in May, so it qualifies for the reimbursement.
Just so you know, we get a call that they're interested. They come in, they sit down. We can't tell them enough how much they'll fill out the paperwork and help them. Then they usually go back and then Jen or AB will follow up in like a couple weeks and then they're, oh, I'm working on it. And we follow up again. Then we kind of back off until we hear from them again. Because it does, I can't tell you how long we've been working on Mrs. Shake. It's been a long, long time.
Yeah. Over you slept, right? She reached out right when we received the award letter, yes.
So it's, you know, it's a lot on them. Most of them are individual people.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's
know,
the
that's
one
why
woman
we-
show over there, so.
Yeah. But the Small Business Development Center works very well with them on their business plans. It sits down with them. So very, I mean, once they get it, I think they understand it good and I think there's other opportunity. So.
I need a motion to accept that application. Cory, a motion. John, thank you. Any discussion? All in favor, aye. Any opposed, nay. Carried. Item number 8, our marketing update newsletter. Aaron. take it away.
It's killing me.
It's not, that's the screen. This is my marketing update. So I prepared 2 presentations for John last week, 2 weeks ago.
That picture looks awful.
Well, I blurred it out so you can read the screen.
Oh,
We have a new drone person, James Burns. So he took new pictures for us.
for full disclosure, it's Malt's son-in-law. So when he gives us any crap, we're sick of Malt. He takes phenomenal pictures. James Burns. He's a policeman and he also heads up the drone program for Herkimer too, the village. Oh, he does great shots. I mean, so
So this is just my presentations.
So I think we saw most of those. That's
Well, did you want to read them or?
No, just slow it down. Please. Most of the things for the grants that we outlined where we were with those, we updated our brownfield. It's not going into them.
It's the screen, yeah.
So this system it's an older system, so we can go down. and put it. Could you
Well, that
just
was
show
the
your
end of-
newsletter? Did you put that over here?
Am I skipping the rest of my presentation?
No, go ahead. I didn't know if it was.
So I mentioned this a few meetings ago, but Elena helped me to create a web page of all of our brownfields, and I have this packet of every brownfield site that we have. Everyone looked at it at one point. If anyone wants to see it again, let me know. But if you go to our website, there's the interactive maps of the village of Herkimer BOA and the county BOA. And then all of the sites that we have.
Stop.
Yeah, well, it made it easier when we're going after other grant opportunities and with the EPA. So they really like to see. it. So,
I sent out our newsletter last week. You should have all gotten it. If you haven't, on our website, there's, I post all of the newsletters if you want to put that.
But also, if you haven't gotten this, let us know so we can check our email list to make sure that you're on, because that's critical. And we did get some nice replies from quite a few people too. It's really
Last week, Jen, Elena, and Victoria attended an IDA Academy in Binghamton. I did not attend. But also in the newsletter, I included that Elena and I attended an EDC Basic Economic Development course in Albany for 4 days. And then Victoria graduated from her leadership Mohawk Valley class. So lots of classes. We're learning a lot.
What was your takeaway from what's your takeaway from it?
The IDA Academy that we went to last week, I found it very informative and I really enjoyed it. They touched a lot on auditing, which I learned a ton from actual auditors in the business. And then there was a woman there from Livingston County who was very empowering and very positive, and she had done a lot for their county. And there was a lot of great ideas that we haven't really had a chance to sit down and talk as a group yet. But I think we all really, really enjoyed her presentation and learned a lot from it as well.
to attend those types of IDA academies is important, because usually the auditors are there, the ABO is there. The people that need to see us attend, so they understanding. Victoria and myself had a brief conversation that everything they outlined that we need to do, we're already doing. So we're ahead of the game with that, but it's always good for those with the refresher courses. You took it. You two did, yeah, and you took this thing.
Is that a big conference? We're about of attendees?
This one was a smaller one because it was in the summertime, a lot of people conflicting schedules, but they usually do it twice a year. So.
Yeah, the next one's down like.
I want to brag that at my class, I got 44 business cards. I had a bit of incentive, but. Yeah, 44 business-
Well, you should tell them.
What?
What was your incentive?
John said he'd give me $100 if I did.
Well, John already did.
I didn't.
You got every single business
That was
card.
his pocket, right?
Every-
Oh, no, it was.
That's the motivator.
Yeah.
The auditor knows.
What was great, I was at a conference not long after that, and 5 people I knew very well came up to me and said, that was a great idea. Did you give her the money? I said, yes, I did. Because they thought it was, that way she got to meet people, they know who you are, they'll reach out. When I took that training 6 years ago, I still stay in touch with a lot of them. I think we've got a lot of opportunities because of
A couple were at the IDA Academy with us, and I, hey, how are you? So it's familiar faces that you do see at all these events. So it's good.
Never knew something like that, just, yeah. How long's it been up in the academy? 6 years ago, you said? Well, no, I went to an economic class. Oh, no, the academy's probably only 3 or 4 years now. It has,
We
2019.
Oh, that's that, wow.
Yeah. it's been
But it didn't start
years.
until Ryan Silva
Ryan
got
Silva.
there. So he's only been there maybe 8 years. So we go and they go through a whole process of what you need to know financially, what you need to know, who to report to. They really go through a lot with you.
They want some success.
Yeah, they don't want anyone to fail or make mistakes. And that's what's great about these guys calling the state all the time and the controller and the ABO. Constantly, because what are we hiding? You know, we want to know how to do it right.
Didn't you want to touch on the?
I do want to touch on the BOA map. So the BOA group is starting very soon. We had like a part presentation with the DRI the other night. That's the outline map of the area that we'll be covering. We've done most of the environmental assessments. There's 2 or 3 left that we need to do, or not. And what we'll be able to do with that $200,000 that the village received for this is now really complement what the DRI couldn't. We'll be able to do some sketches. We'll be able to do some structural analysis. We'll be able to take a look at infrastructure in that whole area. Say somebody wants to come in and do an online business on Main Street. How good is the fiber? How good is the electricity? Do they have enough to support that type of business? We want to take that off the plate and let them know that we're in good shape. We believe right now there's dual fiber at the Masonic anyways, or most of Main Street. It does have good gas. We're worried about our water and sewer. Water's hooked up now for what they're doing, and we'll show that in a minute, but the sewer, we were concerned about going one direction. As we played around a little bit, we found it went the other way, so that was a bonus. Instead of going back to Prospect, it goes to Maine. I'm thinking, oh, we're gonna have to dig up everywhere. But no, it's been working out well, but I think everybody needs to know that for the BOA area. We'll be having various meetings. There's a committee that was selected by the mayor and the state. We'll meet every now and then we'll have some open meetings, but we'll keep everyone posted. There'll be a website, I think it's called, does anybody else remember? Nora Bell gave it to us. I think it's just herkimerboa.com. But we'll get that out to everybody. But the interactive map is what's different in the state. The Department of State loves it. And there's a lot of data on these maps. You click on each property and you can see a lot. So we're happy to work with anybody.
Is this on our website? Or is it going to
Yes,
be on
yes.
the website?
It's on both. Yeah, we put this on ours so we can attract, you know, and the EPA loves it too. So what we're hoping to do, Ann, is because we won that other countywide assessment grant for $270,000, which has only taken 8 months so far, but we still don't have the paperwork yet. We got the initial letter, but it takes so long with the state to sign the contracts. We're hoping to have the interactive map for the entire county too, as part of that as well.
I know this is separate, but what were some of the DRI projects that I might?
Some of them backed out, but there's still a few, like Quackenbush is still in there. There's a couple of buildings that I'm not sure how they're in there. That Jay Rosen, who hosted it at the church, had one. The other church he bought, he had another one at that. Joe Kelly has the opera and something. More, I think the elevators than anything else in the old hungers. No restaurant. Where the carpet place is, where Johnson's Carpet, they want to take that and convert the whole thing to indoor storage. That was another project. I'm not too excited about the Masonic in this project right now because of what they want us to do for decarbonization, which was never outlined in anything that we looked at before, but we've had a couple of meetings now. And to just give what we need as far as drawings and HVAC and a few other things, it's about $25,000. And for not any, where the other grants aren't asking for that. So I'm really concerned that I don't want to spend that on this for the, and I had conversations yesterday with the state and with the consultants, and they're a little nervous about that because they know our project can go ahead. And I,
EPA?
Pardon?
Who's asking for that?
No, the state through the DRI program.
Um,
And I'm like, I don't think we want to do that. I'm not prepared to spend $25,000 on decarbonization because you made it up this year. You know, there's no past history to show us anything.
Yeah.
It's not really right.
Decarbonization, by getting rid of carbon.
Yeah, by the
Well,
HVAC system you're putting in, the type of windows you're putting in. Are you gonna go all electric? Are you gonna use some gas in the building? You know, how the airflow is gonna go through the certain areas that we set up. It's a lot of baloney for every.
CO2 counting is becoming a big thing in development right now, from which residential housing to, I've got it on a solar project right now, we're cutting a couple hundred acres of forest land. And there's some studies out of some universities.
Well, we cut our trees down and they didn't say anything. I just don't know why they continually add things to put stumbling blocks.
I'm gonna say it, and I hope I don't offend anybody, I really don't care, it's a crock of shit. All this stuff. This is what stifles stuff in projects in New York State. Crap like this. I just had enough, I'm sorry. Blow. All right, John, I'm sorry.
You can punch it on the shoulder. So, what's the next slide? Yeah, let's show that then, please. So, there's our new business park, Four Corners. We have something on the agenda to talk about that too, don't we, Jen?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, okay, but just to show you, we've showed it already a couple times. So, I mean, if anybody wants a tour, I think we'll probably have a chance to look at that later in the month, right, Cory? We'll be able to swing by there as well.
Next month.
There's actually a live fisher living on the property right now that we have to get rid of. Jimmy will take care of that. Yeah, and I will send Jimmy in. But, yeah, right now, and I've seen some site plans and potential businesses there. As soon as I'm able to share them with the board, I'll get them out to everybody. Nothing set in stone just yet. And, it's very exciting though that we closed on that property. Okay.
You already had two people that you did.
We've had a couple already, more than two.
We showed it the day of the vote. Okay, that's it. All right, thank you. Very good. Okay, let's go to item number 9, Aldridge Trucking and Sign. Maybe there's a final authorization of this one.
Yep, so that's what we need to vote on. When were you planning on closing with them, Tony?
We're ready to go as soon as council for Aldrich could get the final checklist items at this point in time. We sent a reminder again Thursday of last week. But there's no reason that can't close in 72 hours notice at this point in time.
All right, I'll reach out to Ryan after this, but we still need to vote on approving the final. So if anybody, before you vote, if anybody has a chance to go into the Skylar Park before our meeting, Ryan Aldridge is doing a phenomenal job with the way he has his site and the way he follows the rules with everything from the SWIP to the way he controls mud and grime getting out on the road to the way he lines up his properties or his buildings. His site, the way he just works on his site is second to none. I wish we could use it. Project it really is outstanding.
Anyone, questions? Yeah. Any other comments? Okay, I need a motion to accept that resolution. Sorry, John, discussion. All in favor, aye. Any opposed, nay. Carried. Item 10, Four Corners Business Park, we have to ratify the price per acre.
Tony did ask that we get a updated survey now that, or appraisal. I did talk to our gentleman who does that. He's a little backed up, but I mentioned to him that we want to sell it for 25,000 per acre. He did not see that an issue, but he will send me a firm outline of that, a firm appraisal, hopefully by the end of this week.
Net price is what, is it 25 per acre?
For sellable acre, let me explain what that is to me. So,
No, you're not really talking about that.
oh,
That was, yeah, just wording, I guess.
no, that's okay. So, and I do want to talk about the property further across the street too.
If you want to share it for the rest of the board, that's fine. I understand it now. I just didn't understand.
So we have also purchased with Giuliano, south of Route 5, which is very small amount of property, and then south of the thruway, which is a good chunk of property. that we agreed to, if you all recall, that he could farm it until we can't farm it anymore, and then it will come back to us. So I include the purchase price in our sale price per acre, but not that acreage. So if we sell the entire, across the street, which we will unless there's some roads or something in there, we will have enough to pay any of the bills that we've had, any anticipated bills, and back the county the money of the property. So, the sellable acres are on the north side of Route 5, and the acreage that we'll still own will be on the south side.
Question, it may be too late now, probably as well. You mentioned he can use it as long as he's, is it a personal
Yes.
contract with him, or is
The
it
license to him
LLC?
only.
Him only, so in other words, until he dies.
No, well, if he can't farm it, if he tries to lease it out, he can't do that. It's only for him to farm.
He still owns it, his daughter farms it for him. Is that legal? Is that part of
The
the
license,
contract?
license is something that's typically personal to the individual that terminates on his use. That's something that we were kind of careful in carving out because we wanted to avoid exactly that situation, that it was his kids and their kids. So,
Just him. Okay.
so we contemplated that it's.
So it's like a 99-year lease, pretty much.
Or,
Oh,
he's a young guy.
Yeah,
Could be,
yeah,
I guess.
Oh, he's 60 years old.
yeah, but it's in the floodplain, I guess, too. So,
Not across the street, but in the throughway, yeah, across the throughway it is. So he says it's the best corn in the state.
Right. Okay, so did we have?
No.
Any motion, second, please. Alana, Tim, discussion. All in favor, aye. Any opposed, nay? Carried. The mowing, yes,
Yeah, so, he actually reached out, Giuliano, and said that some people have approached him. I always do the question, who? It's like just bumping in the store. I did talk to Ed Kazakowski, who's taking care of some of our other bigger properties, and he said he would mow it not to exceed 5,000. We don't need to till it because we've already done SHPO. All we're doing is mowing down the grass. He said he'll clean it all up. Should only need it once this year. I think it's well worth the not to exceed 5,000 to keep that property.
So it's one mow, right?
One mow. Then mow.
Are we looking to, I see there's action. Do we need to vote on it?
I would vote on it.
Because it's up to 5,000.
Yeah, but I just think it's good that the board knows and that we're supporting what they're asking for in the community. Keep it up.
Lori, second, up to 5. Any discussion? All in favor, aye. Any opposed, nay? Carried. Item 11. The secret resolutions on page 31 to 45, we need to vote on any questions? Yeah. Vote for it, yes. Leave it on, I don't think it's so much.
No, there's nothing unique about it. There's no impact on anything in the surrounding area.
This resolution is it us accepting the seeker? I don't remember.
Well, because we didn't own the prop. Go ahead.
Well, I don't want to, Chad, but we haven't been lead agency on a project, we would have to.
So that's why I never, okay,
That's why
I
you
just
don't
didn't, I read it. Like, so I didn't think I was.
I'm not to speak for your council on this, but it's pretty,
Yeah.
pretty vanilla.
Okay, need a motion? Up to my kids. Thank you, John. Second, Tim. Any discussion? All in favor, aye. Any opposed, nay? Carried. The pilot deviation approval resolution, page 46 to 55. If you want to just take that look, John?
Yeah, we've talked about it quite a few different times. Also, there was one of the reasons, I did talk to Ann a little bit yesterday. One of the reasons too is the Court of Appeals denied a property tax exemption for a nonprofit entity that didn't use a property for certain exempt purposes, which is, we want to still have that option, which we will utilize, and we've talked about this, if we do bring in a business, someone like what they do here. So this is a not-for-profit owned building. We don't pay property tax, but the hairdresser and the, electric, yeah, any for-profits, Case Tri up on the third floor, they have to be, through an accountant, we'll work with our accounting firm on how much to put into their rent to pay those portions of property tax. But if it's not done here, I can't answer that, but all I can tell you is what we'll do. Structure. So, and that's one reason why we do want the pilot in place, so nobody can come in and say, oh, you didn't do this properly. We're putting a pilot in through the IDA for the LDC to have a 30-year pilot. Will any of us really matter about the 30 years? And 10 years from now, probably not. But we will have it into the lease agreements if you're a for-profit, that you will, part of that lease will proportion to the property tax.
Yeah, hey, good morning. Yeah, I'm Chad Hess from the school, Rockmore Central School. I'm the business official there. And we get these, notices from you. I appreciate getting one. And this one just kind of caught our eye, being 30 years, the standard's 10, allowed up to a
What
20.
standard, though?
Huh?
There's no
Well,
standard.
I mean, isn't your standard pilot?
No,
agreement
New York
10 years?
State has a pilots in place that could go anywhere from
Yeah.
10 to 30 years.
So your standard.
No, our UTEP
Yeah.
is for different types of projects are set up that way.
Yeah.
But we don't have a specific, for a not-for-profit
Sure.
on a pilot. So
Yeah.
this is a not-for-profit agency that we're giving this pilot.
Sure. And then I saw that the 20 years was, was your allowable, and then you're asking for a deviation up to 30. 30 just seems like a long time from our perspective, for any kind of pilot. And, what's the benefit of going to 30 years rather than just doing that? You're exempt anyways, I guess, right? So what's the benefit of having?
Once
30
again,
years?
what I just said about the Supreme Court ruling
Yeah.
too, and our Court of Appeals ruling, and the fact that our legal has advised us
Yeah.
that for the LDC, that we should do this to make it a cleaner process.
Right. I guess that's why we're here, just to object to that. I mean, 30
This
years. is
isn't
long.
really a voting
No.
time, Jim. I think you should explain that to them.
No, I think we have a, no, I understand that. I think we just have a right we have a voice, right? We can,
At the public hearing, that's
Yeah.
when it should have been outlined, your
Yeah.
objections.
Yeah.
And no one attended the public hearing.
I think it got changed and up
No.
down, or no,
No.
that am I mistaken?
Our board meeting was changed. at
And not the
time,
public
not
hearing.
the public
Yeah.
hearing.
So, but anyways, that's why we came, is just to, object to the 30 years. From the school perspective, 30 years is a long time.
But you'd never collect the property tax on.
Yeah, as long as, you're operating it, right?
We sold it.
I mean, I was, pleased that you said if there was a for-profit in there, there was some adjustment, but it's,
I mean, here's the thing, I mean, the idea to walk away from a project like this.
Yeah.
And that building to stay vacant.
Yeah.
To prep it for another.
yeah, no, I appreciate everything you do. And I think that's,
So whatever we
Yeah.
add to it in value as
Yeah.
far as profits going in there.
Yep.
It's a bonus, I guess.
yeah, no, I can see that.
I understand your concern.
Yeah.
I do.
And I think you talked about it a little bit before, earlier in the meeting there, you talked, it just kind of sets a precedent, that, 30 years is available, so if I want to, negotiate with you to do something, then, well, geez, you did it for yourself, it kind of sets a bad precedent, I think.
And
That's-
I think this board.
Yeah.
Based on the size of the project,
Yeah.
which this is a small project.
Sure.
If it's a huge project and it brings in 600 jobs.
Yeah.
It could be 30 years.
Yeah.
If that's the flavor of the board. I know we were a little more aggressive with Tractor Supply.
Yeah.
We gave them a little more, that's what, 10 years? 10 years. It was 10 years, but the
scale of the rate.
the
Yeah.
scalable rate was a little different with that, but they promised us a million square foot building, maybe an addition, coming soon, plus 500-600 jobs, and that was a needle mover. So
I
I
understand.
guess it's all based on,
Yeah, I understand.
the
I
size
just,
of a project like this. Negligible as far as, I mean,
Yeah.
we want to put, not negligible, I shouldn't use that word, but
Yeah.
it's lower on the scale as far as creating jobs. Obviously, we're gonna move in there. We have some businesses in there, whether they create jobs, we hope that happens.
Now, businesses that are going, and you mentioned that there's some kind of tax going, but they don't.
There is, and that's, we'll leave that up to
But you don't want to say there's businesses going per se right now. We don't have that as part of our plan.
Mhm.
We do have some shared office space.
Sorry, if I put it that way, but you're.
Yeah.
right.
To
So,
add-
yeah, sorry if I missed the hearing.
To add to that, I mean, as the county legislator, we fielded several nights and several days of discussions on the same subject.
Right,
Ultimately, at the end, we see it forward progress for,
sure. I understand all that, you know, I just,
I mean, the building was just sitting there and it's,
like
Based on
30 years
what-
is a long time. That's,
Based
you know,
on
that's all
what's
of
going on
our,
in the village,
you know,
with
like
the
that.
BOA
Yeah.
and the DRI, I think this is gonna be the catalyst that starts things. People are gonna see, you know, $4 to $5 million invested in there through grants and some of our monies. So I think it'll be a catalyst, and I know through fact with our IDA and legislature, you need one spot.
Mhm.
And it'll grow. So I'm excited about this. I really think it'll be good for
Sure.
not just the village of Herkimer, but for the county, and it starts a transformation.
yeah, yeah, and, you know, like, I missed the hearing,
So-
but I don't know what the.
we had the same concerns at
Yeah.
the beginning and
Yeah.
through the discussion and
Yeah.
how they define their project the way it's going, so.
Sure.
Try to keep it positive, so.
I think it might also help, I'm not saying I'm opposed, but when our reasoning is that legal counsel thought it would be cleaner, like what does that mean?
Well,
That we
first
wouldn't
off,
have to do it like more than once,
What,
basically?
basically that too, as well as because it's an LDC, also because the Court of Appeals ruling. So we want to keep this as clean as possible and not have anything that could come back on the agency for giving a pilot of any kind to a not-for-profit. So we put this in place now, and in 30 years, none of us will be here, not even in 20, I hope. You know, I don't mean that.
I'm gonna be
I don't
here.
mean, I don't mean that, I mean, go and enjoy our. You know, no, I didn't say that. That's what I mean. I didn't say that. I said just retired at someplace enjoyable. And,
Or sit around this table. Right?
you know, so I'm following the legal advice. I think it's the way to go. And I'm not gonna say that I won't bring forward another 30-year pilot. I'll never say that. Some of the larger projects we're working on right now might mandate that to get them to come to our county. And I think that'll be most important if there's several hundred jobs and million-square-foot facility and, you know, several $100 million project. I mean, that's what's offered throughout the state. And that's what allows IDAs to.
Comments, questions?
But thanks for.
All right, Chair, thank you.
Yeah.
Good luck. They need a motion to accept. Got it? Or discussion. In favor, aye. Any opposed, any carried. Item, the third item there is the approving resolution. It's on pages 56 through 65. John, you want to-
It's just basically outlining what we do with every project. Yeah, standard resolution for the.
Okay, need a motion? Alana, second. Yeah, discussion. All in favor, aye. Any opposed, nay. Carried. Thank you. Item 12, application for financial assistance update. Yeah. 56 through 67. Yeah. That's like,
We added number 17 for the photograph release.
So we added, and if you go to page 67, number 17, on the bottom, we put in there how we want to be able to use any type of photo. And if you're an IDA project, we want to be able to utilize you in that promotion. And we didn't want to just put that in there.
so like putting a lot of, you want the picture. Okay, I didn't realize this was a. Okay.
So I can give you an example. So we did a project called Warrior Solar at the landfill in Frankfurt between on Route 5S. And we took drone footage of there, which is perfectly legal, whether we have this arrangement or not. There's no limitations to that going over that area, watching the progress. I was on a call because they're gonna have like a ribbon cutting in October. And the waste management person, was upset that we were doing. And legal, all told him it was fine, but he said we didn't have that in any agreement, and I thought we did. But we have it in our micro enterprise loan agreement, but we didn't have it in this. So we want to just, and if a firm comes back and they want to X this out of our agreement or say if we only want this amount shown, we're gonna be fine with that. But this just, that made us think that we should go more with this.
All right, next. All right. Motion approved. Alana, second, Jen, discussion. All in favor, aye. Any opposed, nay, carried. The next four items are. We're all solar project, considerations here, item 13, Sunny's Hills.
Did they get all those in their packet?
They're separated.
Okay.
They're in paper card.
So what happened was, so just so people know too, if you heard of okay. So, last 2 weeks ago, there was a terrible, tornado in Rome. And Tony's assistant, Lil, lost her home. Split right in half. They're all safe. Their vehicles are safe. They have a place where they're living right now, but, she's kind of in and out of the office, so we didn't get these till late yesterday. And just, but, our prayers and thoughts are with her and the family. She has a young child too, so it's been traumatic on them. But she's doing a lot, and last night late, she sent these over to us, probably came in, didn't even want to. It's always a Thailand, but I mean, just it's so something that, it's, the first three, which you'll see on here is, Sunny's Hills Solar, Sunny's Flat Hill Solar, and Sunny's Grassy Knoll. Those are just name changes. Right, Tony? That was pretty much.
Yeah, there's no
There-
change in
there's no-
identity or.
There's no change in anything else. These projects might seem long to you, but, what's gonna happen is we gave them till, the end of October 31st to close on this. So in October, prior to that, and I've talked to their project managers, I've talked to their corporate, so is Tony, that we will be closed on them before the end of October, but we needed to give those, that relief for their ST60s to get all their purchases starting to be made and everything to make them tax exempt. So those three are very basic, just the slight name changed. I'm not even sure why they name changed. They were bought out, but that was a while ago. But something wanted them to change them to these three. So those are pretty easy. Then we'll talk about Watkins after that.
If they have name change, should reapply like the applications for the.
No, the authorizing resolution incorporates the fact that it's nothing but a name change. There's no change in ownership interest or financial
Remember, we had
information.
one where they did a name change and they had to redo some paperwork.
I've addressed it in the authorizing resolution that the successor and interest.
Okay.
So we'll want to take this all separate.
Yeah, you have to vote on each one separately.
Okay, let's go to item 13, Southeast Hills Solar. Motion. Motion, Barney, John, discussion. All in favor, aye. Any opposed? Carried.
Can I just say one more thing about it? All three of these have been approved by their boards, the town boards, seekers, everything. They're ready to go. None of them have started yet. I drove by them last week to check them all out. Jen drives by one every other week when you go to the Green Acres.
Every other week, you got it.
So we know that there's nothing started there, but there should be some.
Just the qualification, John, they understand that they don't close by the 31st of October.
It starts the clock ticking again.
Yeah, the ST60s are revoked. So there's a hammer over them. Yeah.
Item 14, Southeast Flat Hill Solar. Need a motion. Lon, second, John, discussion. All in favor, aye. Any opposed, nay. Carried. 15, Southeast Grassy Knoll Solar. Motion. Lori, second, line of discussion. All in favor, aye. Any opposed, nay. Carried. Southeast Watkins Road.
Watkins Road?
It's, if you go to the Frankfurt Bridge, coming out of the village of Frankfurt on Railroad Street, you take a left, it's your first right. It's about a 3/4 of a mile down on the right-hand side. On the way to my house, yeah?
Oh,
It's the right,
I know.
it's the right before that.
all right.
It's about halfway between my house and.
So this project's both in the town of Skylar and the town of Herkimer. It's been going on for several, well, it's probably at least 2 years.
3 years.
3 years. They had some, issues. They cleared all that up. They've gotten approval from NYSERDA. Now they're moving forward. Today we're going to, I think, what are we doing? Inducing?
We're reducing the project.
We're reducing the project. They've paid half their fee. That's already in our account. And this one again too, they want to close by October 31st as well. So this will be 4 of these Sunny's projects. They do have another one on the books. That'll be on Miller's Grove Road, right in Jimmy's front yard. It's been approved by NYSERDA, but we probably won't see that till second quarter next year.
How many acres is that one?
I have no idea. Sorry. 50 maybe. But it's a 25 megawatt.
All right, need a motion there. John, second.
No, it's for Sunniest Watkins Road. It's the start of the project. So we're inducing it. We collected the half the fee like we requested. And now we'll issue them the ST60 so they can start buying the equipment. I'm not sure, did they start clearing the land? Somebody I thought told me that they did. clear.
On this San Watkins Road or McKenna?
Both.
I know it's called Watkins,
Both.
but it's on both sides.
Yeah, on the, what's it, Skagit Farm? Is it Skagit? What's the name of that road that they? Sokol, yeah, it's Sokol.
Behind the college. So the road abuts the college, the foundation property. The motion, I did it, and John and Lori second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Is there a public hearing?
Oh, we need to schedule a public hearing. Still,
The motion is scheduled a public hearing. Alana, second, Tim, discussion. All in favor, aye. Any opposed?
why do I feel as though we did one before for some reason?
Project recently or?
You better look.
Either place.
Okay. We'll look and then we'll check it for sure.
Okay, item 17, Village of Herkimer, Bill School's legal fee.
So Bill's school has been in bankruptcy for quite a while. And we've been through the facility a couple weeks ago. And it's in very good shape, believe it or not. I'm excited by it because the woodwork is all in good shape. The floors are a little sketchy, but there's a certain kind of floor throughout all the hallways that once you bump it, it comes all back. Can't think of the name of it. Somebody. Yes, that's it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It's here for a reason.
Yeah,
So-
schools have a lot of draws on it.
Yeah. No, Toronto, like he said. Yeah, so we like cleaned a part of it and it's still in great shape. You cannot believe, I only saw one pigeon in there. Yes, it needs windows and needs some fixing up. But it's a great opportunity for housing. I've been approached over the years on that quite a few times. The gentleman has abandoned it. He went to bankruptcy court to try to get everything all done. It didn't happen. The judge threw it out. So the village is going to start Article 19B. Chuck Malcolm's going to assist with that. I'm requesting that we not to exceed 10,000 in legal fees with this project. We will get that back when we do sell the Bill School to a developer. And we still have a right to go in there. We have a letter from the current owner that's current that allows us in there. We've done the environmental studies, we've done the asbestos, not abatement, but asbestos surveys. The only thing we can't find are the drawings of the building. We've reached out to the school. No one can, we reached out to the insurance company. It was Utica Mutual. They don't have it. Fire department doesn't have it. One of the things though that the DRI could possibly pay for is drawing that up, but we don't need that just yet. So I'd like the permission from the board to not to exceed 10K to get moving ahead with the Bill School.
I know we talked yesterday about that. I just had a quick question. So the village's attorney will be the lead on it with Chuck assisting.
Yeah.
You think 10 grand will be enough for that?
But we're not paying their legal fees, only ours.
So this is only us paying for Chuck to assist?
Yes. Yeah, but I think he'll be doing more than the assisting.
I do too.
Yeah.
I'm just, so is there any possibility for the village to contract right with, I'm just getting us for it, or?
Well, they don't have the money to do it. That's why we're doing it.
They'll have to pay their attorney.
Well, that's part, I think he gets a fee as being part of their system anyways. I don't think it's per project.
So it's not an extra burden.
I
to
I
them.
can't answer that for sure, but they know they need to get it back on the tax rolls and do something, so. However they pay, I don't really know, but I know that Chuck will do a lot, and I've already asked him about the fee, and that's what he said, not to exceed,
So this is just for Chuck's.
just for
for-
Chuck,
for
and that's all we're
attorney
paying.
outcomes.
Yeah, we're not paying the Vincent Ross agent's fee. So, but I think this will give a nice template to the village, so they can utilize it to do that with other properties, 19A for residential, 19B for. And this is done all over the state, so.
The motion. John, Tim, discussion. On favor, aye. Any opposed, nay. Carries. Item 18, the Tyler Business Park update, John, which part are we talking about?
Well, we're gonna talk about, I think I meant to say, no, Skylar Business Park update. So our business park, not Four Corners, we've showed the last 3.4 acres that are in there, which is, right after Kaluchi Trucking, right across from, the Skylar Wood Pellet. Talked to them yesterday and the developer yesterday. It looks like there's a very good chance that'll be a go. That'll be our last piece of property really in there. Last week, I was on a call with NYSERDA and Empire State Development. They selected the Skylar bit, those 60 acres we have left under contract as part of a statewide project. They selected 7 pieces of property throughout the state, and we were one of them to help promote for green energy building. So that would be for companies that build solar panels, that build components for wind farms. They're gonna utilize a site selector firm and market our park. We're putting all the data together for them now at no cost to us. Very good opportunity here. Dave Whipple, who heads up that Fast New York, who you met when we were down there. He really helped us do this, and NYSERDA, of course, we have a great relationship with them. So this is moving ahead nicely there. The convenience store should be open in the 1st in September. They're really shooting for it. Does look like they have windows in. I can't believe how quickly they did that, but they got windows in, so that should happen relatively soon. So that park is really raring to go. We're still having a little bit of issues with Department of Transportation. They've assured us this is the last go round. They've said that before, but we're submitting everything in very shortly. Waiting for Department of Health to get back to us on the water tower.
John, the DOT. Shouldn't there are redirection of that road be done concurrently with the project, or we're gonna wait till the building to be built and then disrupt,
I have no, what building, Jimmy?
well, the convenience store. And the entrance to the park for that matter.
They won't move any quicker than what we're asking. And the convenience store asked now if they could have a right turnout onto Route 5. I said, if that doesn't change anything with us, that's up to them.
It's up to them.
So we're not paying for
But it would
that.
just make sense, then again, large stables.
But I think it's amazing, though. I came back from Albany the other day and I drove on Route 5S in front of Target, in front of no, it's the Target Distribution Center, Helen Marks, Dollar General, Peach Nut. There's no lights. There's no stop lights. There's nothing. You just drive right through, and there's hundreds of people working there. Hundreds. And it's on 5S and the speed limit's 55. And there's no lights. I can't figure it out. Just doesn't make sense, but we got the grant money to cover it. Hopefully, by the time we get this though, costs have risen so much that we'll probably, I don't know, I'll reach out for some additional funding.
What are the specific issues that you're mentioning? The light.
DOT?
right, with that intersection.
The light, and you're gonna have to redirect the road, and, there's
I don't know.
alignments there that you have to make, and, it's just.
They haven't moved the poles yet either, National Grid. They put up some new poles, but they haven't moved the poles. It's been,
Will that hinder the timeline for the other businesses? you think?
no, I mean, they'll never shut the entrance. It'll always be an entrance. It's maybe be a little slower from
So it's no hindrance, it's just,
time.
It
There.
won't be. 400 cars used to go in and out of there every weekend in a 2 or 3 hour interval, for years and years, never had a problem. I lived there all my life, never seen an accident there. But when the DOT at a meeting says, we're gonna put a light here, and they're probably gonna have accidents, is bizarre. Why would you do that?
I mean, with a traffic uptick and maybe a change in pattern, but if it's no hindrance on the rest of the park and they're just over there.
Shouldn't be, but it would just make it nicer. One clean project, get it over with, and
They hedged it on safety. We reviewed all the numbers. The closest accident was at the Four Corners on Dyke Road. There was someone rear-ending the other person because they were on their cell phone. Can't find
we had
any.
an accident on the bridge, but there was an icy bridge and we hit a school bus.
How many years ago was that?
Years ago, but, and we even asked them for a business park sign, but nothing. Just
Before
a
the
simple,
bridge?
just
Yeah.
a simple business park sign.
Because we can't put our own up.
We're
We're not allowed to.
take a whole 10 minutes.
Or like one of the signs that says that there's a light coming out, right?
When the light gets there, but right now, even just a, business park entrance ahead. Put a quarter mile down the road, whatever. No,
But I go there often just to check on things and I'm never in line long. There's never anybody,
So who would be on the hook if there's an accident? State's acknowledging, the state's acknowledging it could be a safety problem and,
Malt, they really haven't acknowledged there could be a safe. They just said they want to. They can't show us documentation that justifies that. But we're not arguing with them. We're just gonna put it in, but just tell us when we can do it. So we've had so many meetings and so many years now. Here it is going into August. You think we're gonna find a contractor now? Maybe it's better. I don't know. It's just, and then the guy didn't even know if we don't know light or not. He owns the light. It was just disaster.
we pay for the initial light. And the engineering and all that, and then once it's, we get the sign up, they will maintain.
I'm very excited to get the water tower in there too, because that'll support the other business park and that whole strip there. Still wait, I have to reach out to Kate Morris this week just to see if she can push it along.
Is that with the state?
That's what the state department.
So that's a drawdown, right? What the grant that you got for the park, the water tower?
Well, we haven't worked that out yet because we talked about, remember when we had that meeting, we didn't want to just draw it down a little bit or wait till the whole project was done. So we're working on that with them. They're pretty sure they're gonna let us have that. They want us to show success, and everybody else who's gotten to Fast New York, it has taken some time. Yeah, Manheim Business Park. So we've been working on the water tower down there and just trying to figure out the best way to go about it. There has to be some additional equipment put into the pipeline there. So my thought was now, I want to go ground-based. It's gonna save us $800,000 to $900,000. I see that being smart. Will maintenance be a little more for the village? That's okay. It's their individual people doing it. I don't see an issue with that. We're gonna have to run electricity to it, which they're gonna pay for. So we're just waiting on some final numbers from,
Dylan, right
yeah, but
here,
what's the name of it?
right Pierce.
Ray Pierce, to get going on that, then you can submit it all to the health department there. But that's moving ahead down there as well. Russell Farm update, went to, examine the new, sewer pump and talk about the water. Our contractor didn't show up the first day. Rescheduled, he showed up and then it didn't work. So we're holding back some payment right now until he makes sure that everything's in working process there. And then we'll have some other Russell updates in the executive session.
Okay, that concludes the regular agenda. Anyone want to add before John goes into updates and comments by what do we have on?
Was Senator, or was Assemblyman Smullen on this?
He was.
I'm here.
Oh, good. Hi, Assemblyman, how are you?
Very good. Thanks. Appreciate you letting me listen in.
Yeah, would you like to make any comments? We're at that point where we allow our elected officials.
I don't have anything to add to the agenda or anything of that nature, but as you know, just give me a call if I can be helpful in any of the issues that are out there, especially the state regulatory stuff.
Thank you. We appreciate your support, Senator. Maybe.
And I did have one comment, and this is about the mission and vision statement. I've just been on this whole thing about regulatory certainty. So, people, businesses that they want to come in, that they know that if it's running through like an IDA like this, one of the 5 counties, that it's going to be from a regulatory standpoint, that it's going to be smooth. And that's I don't know how you add that into the mission statement, because it's a really good mission statement that you got. So,
All right, thank you. Have a great day.
thank you.
Anyone else? Senator Waldeck, office on. Correct?
Hi, yeah, my name is Cindy. I'm with Senator Walzick's office. Same kind of comments as the assemblyman. I'm happy that I was able to listen in. This was really informative. And as always, if you need anything from our office, we're here to help.
Thank you, Cindy. We appreciate that. And send our regards to the senator.
I will, thank you.
Thank you. Malcolm.
Yeah, just touch on, thanks for attending our legislative session. The IDA invited to give us we have a new transition of legislators. So we had you guys come in and kind of give an orientation to some of the younger colleagues, and it was enlightening to them, and it was also enlightening to the myself being there 9 years. Appreciate the explanations and updates, and we're all happy that everybody grasp something to do. We all understand your vision. We support the IDA, all positive, and you guys do a great job, and hopefully we can do that a couple times a year.
Oh, that is well supported. So thank you. I just have one other item. And John may have touched on this last meeting. Our membership has to change. We've heard anything more on.
She hasn't signed it yet.
She hasn't signed it. If you don't know, as you know, we have to take on 2 people from our board. One has to be from the school board.
Or school board or superintendent.
Superintendent, and then another person has to be from a labor arm, whatever, whether it's a union or, they really haven't defined it. They just like, has to be from labor. So we're assuming that's a union. So
Increase our
we will, I guess the way it works, and correct me if I'm wrong, we will take on those two additional board members, at which time we will have to either redo our bylaws.
No, we
Correct?
can't.
No? Okay, how's this work?
So we don't have term limits, so we're only up to have 7 members on our board. What they have said is that you could add 2 if you had term limits, and then until the other one's timed out, we can only really have 7. So the county will have to make a decision on 7 board members. So
Okay, so the county has
already
decided.
the county picks our board members, the county legislature. What I would like to say first off is she hasn't signed it yet, so let's wait till she signs it. Before we get to this.
Do you even know when that would be?
No, because she signs parts of stuff and then throws other things. So Ryan Silva is very tight with her. He was on her, when she first became lieutenant governor, he was on her economic committee, and then he moved on to this, so he talks to her all the time. So he's trying to get her not to, though. It's very bizarre. The people down in the southern part of our state really think that everything is corrupt. So they want to put additional people on there. It doesn't make sense. You know, labor, you're voting on projects that union would have that opportunity to bid on. How is that, right? And then the school part of it, I don't see an issue with that. It's just, let's be honest, how busy are school superintendents? Will they be able to make our meetings, you know, really? Let's say, I mean, be honest. So maybe it's a school board member, you know, the president of a school board somewhere, somebody who can be a part. So those are the options.
I have the same, it's not so much on the school end, but on the labor. You're letting the wolf into the hen house, and, you know, knowing about the projects, and you think there would be some type of conflict there.
I could see the school law. And the, being one of the board members, but as far as like Jimmy's, I don't know.
But
I can't get the definition straight out,
Yeah.
labor.
What doesn't make sense too, Greg, is that all along they don't want no elected officials. They bring this up every year. They don't want to but now they want to put an elected school board member. That doesn't make sense. They kind of.
And specifically a school board member.
Or
Not someone on
superintendent.
our board that represents the school.
No, school board member
It's
or,
K-12,
pardon?
K-12, it's not higher ed, it's.
I can't answer that one.
K-12
I didn't see
school board.
that.
So they'll allow us to run with 9 members for a short period of time, and then they transition.
I don't-
Relatively soon.
Well, they didn't, I don't think so, because we don't have term limits. It said for term limit people, you could, if the other ones would time out, but we don't have term limits.
I remember they would allow you to do it
With
for
term
certain-
limits.
Okay, so in the interim, all right, in any regard, okay, so we're,
But we don't, she didn't vote yet. She didn't sign it yet,
Right.
so.
all right, let's go to project updates.
No, that's okay. We don't, and maybe that's part of the project update. I just didn't know if you wanted to touch upon the BOA email stream that we were talking about, or if we got a legal opinion on that contract, that temporary considering ownership. I didn't know if you wanted to touch
That
upon that.
really didn't
or
have
that's-
anything to do with, that was part of our assessment. We could talk about that too.
No, I didn't know if it was even anything that you wanted to touch upon. It was just part of the email, so I didn't know if you wanted to close the loop on that.
Sure, so I don't know if you all remember, I requested with the county attorney and HRP to go into 2 sites. One of the sites hasn't paid their taxes and the other one still has an owner. Lorraine, our county attorney, was talking with the owner's attorney and he said, just go this route because he wasn't having success with his clients. The committee chair for that sent me an email and said, I need a board resolution from you and a couple other things. And I said, when did this change? I said, please send me your resolution that outlines it with the county, why this change, you know, what was it? So I can reference that one if we have to do a resolution. And at this point, I haven't heard anything and I don't, to be honest, if we don't move ahead with the one property, this is the only time we've ever had this incident. We've been doing all the other properties with temporary incidents of ownership. So I don't see a reason why we've never needed board resolutions in the past. We've been using our assessment grant that doesn't require that. When we took in, we voted to accept that grant. So it was something new that came up and I just pushed back and said, send me your resolution so we could mimic it in ours or to reference it in ours and I. And that's where.
For all the properties.
I can't answer that right now, but maybe, but still that's new and they need a resolution to send us. It can't be just one person saying that we want you to change this. That's not the way that works. And we've never done a resolution, even if they weren't behind the taxes on any assessment. And yes, we've gone on to other property that hasn't been done. Not Main Street, but in other properties.
So we've had other TIOs where they have them pay their taxes that we.
I think we more or less got permission at that point. I can't remember for sure, but we can look into that or ask them, she'd know better. But I think we did because we did because we got one to go on to the property that's next to Pete's Bar. And those owners are still here and they're still covering on their taxes. But we got one to go on.
That was
You-
recent?
Yeah, not that long ago. Who went in there? You and, did you go in there too? That where the,
We've gone and all.
yeah, the one, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that.
So there's been a precedent where we have obtained temporary incident ownership on properties that have been current on the tax.
Because that must have been the only one that I can think of. Yeah, because we can't, HRP can't go through the
the-
assessment
right,
grant without
yeah.
either that or permission letter. So, yeah, that would be it, because they're still current on their taxes, and they're trying to figure out what to do with them. It's two guys who own, I think they also own, where Enos had the laundromat over there. Do you know where that is on Washington Street? Maybe not. There used to be a.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Chips, it's just. We just wanna make that part.
Well, that's something different. Chips. That's not what it is. Yeah, chips were close. Still don't have to sign it.
Okay, let's go to other project updates and.
Please don't forget the budget workshop on August 13th at 8 AM. And then Skylar Business Park. Oh, not Skylar. Yes, Skylar Business Park, Corey's planning, and I didn't tell the team yet, but at Thursday, August 29th at 11 AM, we're gonna meet in the park over there. I'm gonna set up a place, probably gonna be Fountainhead's break room. We'll have a chance to talk, go look at all the sites. We can talk to anybody at any of them. We can schedule a time to even like, how much does everybody really want to see? Do you want to go in the buildings? Because I can make all of that happen.
We have an hour. So
Yeah, that's true.
We may not. have-
Is there anything that's more exciting than others? Pepsi, they don't give samples out fast every time you go.
Everyone so far, and I think we're gonna have 50, my grandson's be there.
Yeah.
So I'm 50.
Do you know I was in a Pepsi meeting? And I brought it to
Everyone except for.
Take a version.
I think everyone.
No, you, I thought you were gonna say you were.
No, they usually.
Everyone but Mike is
29 at 11 o'clock.
Okay.
I will get that to you tomorrow.
All right,
Sorry,
so it'll be Fountainhead where we'll probably have our meeting, but we'll have a chance and we can talk to other people. Okay, and then go over to Fort.
Thanks, John.
The other thing that I was talking about with Mr. Bono, the other day was, with the loss of Senator Seward, he truly helped out the economic growth of our county. Without his support, we would have never been able to update the substation in Frankfurt for Tractor Supply. Countless meetings I attended with him for economic development, countless meetings when I was a legislator. Truly supported me when I ran for legislator, how many times he helped us at CTM when I worked there, just an all around great guy. I'd like to be able to approach Frankfurt and talk to them about renaming or additionally naming the Frankfurt 5S North Business Park to represent Senator Seward. I'm not sure how to go about doing that, whether I'll go talk to their board. And it's probably still on that sign that we have, says Frankfurt 5S North, or maybe above it, we'll put the Senator James Seward, Business Park or something.
Yeah, John, we can work on legislation for that as well. That would be helpful. I think I lost you on audio.
Do you have us now?
I have you broken.
Now? Can you hear me now, someone?
I can. Yeah, it's working now. Sorry.
Thank you. Does anybody have any other thoughts or suggestions? I know, and it doesn't have to be right this second.
By itself, and we up the water, with the well. I mean, with it, I know it's, the flagship is Tractor Supply, we're at the top.
So the only reason why I thought of the 5S North one, well, there's several reasons, but one is we own that sign. And the one that's for the 5S South, that's owned by Tractor Supply. And I don't know, I mean, we could put up a different sign somewhere, even though we really don't own property in that parking. I could ask around, I don't know if
The county was the right. I don't know, well, it's just, because he did help out there and.
yeah, the power line was for there, but that's over there too, that's substation.
Okay.
I mean,
Think about it, we'll come up with either or, but whether it's north or south, but it's fitting that we acknowledge him.
Well, it would be nice that we set a little timeline, because I will have to go to either board and town, and I have no problem with that, I'm in with them all the time anyways. So maybe by mid next week, I'll send around another email and if anybody has a thought. But he really did do a lot for this community.
With his help, this office was great.
Yeah, he
was.
Let's still be a corner store in the mall, but yeah, he's good.
What was he, 71 or 2?
Two.
That's a shit. Too young. Good man. I talked to him about a month ago and we were gonna tour all the parks. And he just wasn't feeling that right. He goes, all right, I'll let you know when. And Vince Cassell, I talked to him over the weekend about it too, and he said, yeah, we were supposed to go to lunch and he kind of pushed me off a little bit. I wish I could have.
Okay, let's do, our updates.
The budget and the business part, I'm good on everything else, right?
Okay, you good? Yeah. All right, we can go to motion for executive session
Yes.
for, advice of council, so, Alana, second by, Jenna, discussion. Favor aye. Any opposed, nay. Carried. If we're in executive session, Chair, thank you.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Thanks.
Yes.
Yes, thank you.
Have a good day.
Is there anything that you need from me during this executive session?
Did you need Shannon for anything?
Shannon, can you call up?
Shannon asked if we.
No, we don't need it.
Okay, sorry, I just had the conflict that I emailed you about.
Yeah,
If
no
anything comes up, feel free to give me a call.
I will. Thanks.
Thank you.
Have a great day.
Yes, sir.